सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, सदा जपो रे, सदा भजो रे, सदा जपो रे, सदा भजो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम 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 जय कल्याण रामा, राम 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 जय कल्याण रामा, राम 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 जय पट्टाभिरामा, राम 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 जय पट्टाभिरामा, राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा, राम 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 जय कोदंड रामा, राम राम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे, राम नाम तारकं सदा जपो रे। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Bharatji is telling all Ayodhya Vasis, our greatest well-being lies in this understanding that I am a Sevaka of the Lord. Means whatever actions we are doing, the beauty in that action is our ego should become small. There is one rule of entry and exit. When ego enters, God exits. When ahankara enters, Bhagavan exits. This is the story of Gopika Gita also, where all the gopis, Bhagavan gives them darshan and everyone feels I am very special because he is giving me a lot of attention, lot of time, one-on-one attention and time. Right when that thought comes, Bhagavan disappears. And the prayer that they chant, wanting to see the Lord back, that prayer is called Gopika Gita. So Bharatji says, our bhavana should be that I am a sevaka of the Lord. And he says, whatever you all have told me so far, different people said different things. Either you have said it out of attachment or delusion. He says, Kausalya ji is very attached to me and she is looking at my helplessness. Therefore she is telling me, become the king. But he says, Vasishtha Maharshi, you are my guru. You know the past, present and future. If you are also telling me to sit on this throne, it only means my destiny is very difficult right now. Prarabdha is very difficult. That is all I can understand from your statement. And he says one chaupai which is very popular. Dekhe binu Raghunath pada jiya ke jara nina jai. Without seeing the lotus feet of the Lord, the agitation in my heart restlessness in my mind will not quieten. No other remedy is going to solve this problem for me. Now this prasanga is very beautiful to reflect upon. See, when Bharatji, Lord Rama, they were young, whatever Vishwamitra Rishi told them, they did. Now Vasishtha Maharshi is telling them something, and Bharatji is going against it. What is Vasishtha Maharshi telling Bharatji? Sit on the throne. And he gave list of reasons how it's a dharmic act. Even if you sit on the throne, you are not doing anything wrong. You rightfully are given this throne, so go ahead and fulfill your father's words. But Bharatji is putting forth this point, which if you look at it superficially, is contradicting his guru. But he does it in such a way, Vasishtha Maharshi doesn't feel offended. In fact, he is happy that we arrived at the right decision. Nobody else feels offended that Bharatji disobeyed his guru. On one hand, you have Bharatji, who is Prema Murti. Prema Murti means embodiment of love. And on another hand, you have Vasishtha Maharshi, who is Dharma Murti, embodiment of Dharma. But Vasishtha Maharshi's beauty is, he doesn't make it as an ego issue. How come Bharatji is not listening to my words? He understands the point that Bharatji is making. And finally everybody agrees that we have to go to Chitrakoot from Ayodhya. Now this portion also tells us how should we think when we are in a dilemma. Because our decisions in life are such, not everything will be very clear. There will be so many decisions which are very grey areas. Both options look equally right. We meet many families, One of the challenge that many people here go through is, especially there is a phase. Should we continue staying here or should we move back to India? And you cannot make one or the other decision because both appear right. It could be any other topic also, work related, children related. They want to do something, we want something else. But in and through that, how do we come to terms with a good decision? What is the advice that we get here from Bharatji? First thing is, our connection with Bhagavan should be very strong. The daily prayers that we do, meditation that we do, chanting that we do, whatever sadhana it is, the action is not very important. The most important aspect is, have we built sambandha? Sambandha means feeling of belongingness. Puja Guruji says, our longing and belonging, both should be for God. Longing and belonging. If you notice carefully, we have attachment only towards somebody towards whom we have sambandha. Raga cannot be formed without relation. And for relation we need to give time. Why only raga? Even dvesha cannot happen without sambandha. Only when we are related to somebody and certain experiences we don't like, then one might cultivate dvesha. If they are favorable, it can be raga. But point to note here is, without sambandha, neither do we have raga nor dvesha. Without sambandha, there is no emotion also. So before we go into how to take decisions, what is most important is, have I built my bond with God? You know, sometimes when we pray to God, we have this question, does He listen? Actually, this question young children don't have. When we become adults, we have. Because our intellectual mind kicks in. If you are calling out to some person, let's say even with the wrong name, 5 people are standing, they are looking somewhere else, and one person you keep calling. After 5-6 call of yours, what will that person do? Turn back and say, who is this person calling? Wrong name. Imagine, ordinary person called by wrong name turns back. Lord of the universe called by His own name. Why do we doubt that He doesn't listen? That's why that bhajan is there, right? कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, किसकी तरह बुलाते नहीं? तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं. What they are asking us to do is pray wholeheartedly with this bhavana that I want to build sambandha with Bhagavan. Yesterday we had seen love going towards finite things becomes attachment. Preeti towards lower things becomes asakti. Preeti towards higher goal becomes bhakti. Same thing with sambandha. If our sambandha is only with finite things, it brings bandha. And if that sambandha becomes with Bhagavan, it frees us from all bondage. And the beauty is, whenever this sadhaka needs advice, that bond with the Lord gives him the right advice. So much so that when he takes a decision, he knows this is the right decision for me, and this is a decision which Bhagavan is also pleased with. In mantra japa, they have one saying, one definition of mantra is Gupta Paribhashi. Paribhashi means one who gives advice. Gupta Paribhashi means one who gives secret advice. So if we can do mantra japa and siddhi of that mantra japa, siddhi means our mind should start absorbing in that mantra, then the guide for this sadhaka becomes Bhagavan. And it's not some mystic way that Bhagavan will come and whisper something in the ears. Whatever he decides with that frame of mind, very likely that will be the right decision. That is what Bharatji is doing here. He listened to everybody, but he says, my heart is telling me something else. Where is his heart? In Bhagavan. So that decision which is taken by a devoted mind, that decision is the right decision. Later in Ramcharitmanas we have one portion called as Vibhishana Gita. The chariot of dharma is pointed out. And the charioteer is the buddhi, intellect. So who is the charioteer? Goswamiji says, Isa bhajana sarathi sujana. That buddhi which has done Isha bhajana, which has worshipped the Lord. The blessing of that buddhi is it can take right decisions. And very likely we would have noticed majority decisions in our life, we have to take it. We can ask advice from others, but they cannot decide for us. They should not also. That is one point to note in Bharatji's speech. How to arrive at a decision? First build bond with God. With that devoted, peaceful mind, hear whatever people have to say. Then do that by which mind is peaceful and happy. Second thing is the way Bharatji speaks. There are different types of speech. One speech is called as Vada. Vada means two people of equal stature. They are discussing. And lot of clarity comes on a topic. Study group, for example, is Vada. Vada means not argument. Vada means two people with the intention of knowing the truth are discussing to arrive at the truth. Then comes Samvada. Samvada is between Bhagwan Krishna and Arjuna. What do we say in that last statement? Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Samvade means there is one knowledgeable person, another person is just the bee on the wall. He's just listening, wants to soak and absorb. That is Samvada. Third dialogue is called as Jalpa. Jalpa is where you come with a preconceived notion. I am right, you are wrong. You don't have any intention to know the truth, nor do you have knowledge about it. That person just comes with the idea of defeating the other person. You open any news channel. What is happening there is not Vada. Majority of them are Jalpa. I am right, you are wrong. Fourth one is very funny. It's called Vitanda. Vitanda means you are wrong. And if you ask, okay, what is your opinion? This person says, I don't know. I have no opinion, but all I know is you are wrong. What is an example of Vitanda? Political election campaign. One person will criticize the other person. All his policies are wrong. Then somebody asks him, okay, what is your policy? He says, that I don't know yet. That is called as Vitanda. So in Bharatji's speech, what he demonstrates there is what is ideal Vada. How to present a point in such a way, how to present point respectfully, such that the message goes across and even the guru doesn't feel hurt. Because what he is saying is contrary to what Vasishtha Maharshi wants. But neither Vasishtha Maharshi nor anybody feels hurt. That is the beauty of Bharatji's speech. Now, having done all this, they start preparing now. Have to go to Chitrakoot. But look at the diligence of Bharatji. Whole night he spends thinking, planning about the security of Ayodhya. There is one very famous chaupai, he says, Sampati sab Raghupati ke ahahi, jai binu jatana chalon tajitahi. To parinaman mori bhalai, papa siromani soi dohai. He says this whole sampatti which is there, the wealth and treasure of Ayodhya, belongs to Bhagwan Rama. And if I carelessly leave it, and in my devotion if I go to Chitrakoot, I will not be doing the right thing. So whole night he spends diligently planning how to plan the security of Ayodhya for the next few days. And it is written here, he calls trusted people, trusted sevaks who are there, calls them, and whoever was good in whichever art, whatever was their skill set, accordingly he gives them roles, delegation of work. And if somebody has to be good at this, what it means is that person has to rise above his likes and dislikes. What happens generally is, even if we know a person is good at something, and if let us say we have raga or dvesha, either way, then there might be a chance that we will not give the right work to the right person. You know that person A is good at this, but let's say we are attached to person B. In spite of knowing that person B is not competent enough like person A, one might end up giving work to person B. Or if we have dvesha towards person A, then also right delegation of work is not possible. Bharatji here is explaining to us one shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Anapeksha shuchir dakshaha. 12th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says, who is my devotee? One who is very efficient. Dakshaha means efficient. And other qualities are also there. One who is clean, one who is not expecting anything back in return. But important thing to note here is dakshaha. Otherwise, what is the general feeling people have? Devotee means somebody who is always crying. Very emotional person, doesn't know to plan, doesn't do things properly. In North India, there is one statement, Hum to bhagat hai. Hum to bhagat hai means you can do whatever you want. Gurudev has one statement where he says, our God is of the nature of beauty. Whatever he does is beautiful. I don't know how people have lost touch with this beauty eventually. Means you look at any temple architecture, you look at any carving of Bhagwan's idol, it's an embodiment of beauty. But sometimes some temples, even if they are very beautiful temples, we notice they are not kept clean. And what is the reason people give? Oh, devotion is more important. Bharatji is telling us one of the quality of a bhakta is efficiency. One of the quality of a devotee is to do things properly. So with that he has lot of planning, lot of things that he does the whole night, and finally they are ready to go. But then they realize somebody has to stay back, because the security people, they can only guard the palace. What about homes? Somebody has to stay at home. So then they ask those who are very little and those who are elderly. Both of them, they say, you all should stay at home. Because you cannot go to the forest, climb up those mountains and stay there and so on. And the moment people hear that we have to stay back, we cannot see Bhagwan Rama, they feel it is as though mrityu danda. Mrityu danda means capital punishment. It would have been better that we got that than hearing this, that we are not allowed to come with everybody. There is one very beautiful chaupai that Goswamiji writes. He says, Jaroso sampati sadhana sukha, suhrada matu pitu bhai, sanmukha hotaja ramapada, karena sahasa sahai. If something is not helping us, turn towards the Lord. Or if something is obstructing us from our devotion to Bhagavan, that thing can be left behind. That thing can be let gone of. But thing to note here is, this is not said for a person whose mind is more prevalent, not a person with likes and dislikes. True devotee of the Lord, when he worships the Lord, in that devotion if some obstacle comes, then Goswamiji says, your goal is most important than any means. So there is one nice dialogue between Mirabai and Goswami Tulsidas ji. They were all contemporaries, by the way. Mirabai, Goswami Tulsidas ji, Akbar, all of them are contemporaries. Akbar sends one letter to Goswami Tulsidas ji, I want to make you a jewel in my court, please come. Goswami Tulsidas ji writes another letter saying, I am already occupied by one king. I am already employed by a king, his name is Lord Rama. If you doubt me, he says, go and look in his court, you will find my name there. So I am not available. So this is one letter written by Santa Mirabai to Tulsidas ji. Let's just see 2 lines of it, and then we will see the response of Tulsidas ji, what he writes. Lines you sing.
स्वस्ति श्री तुलसी सुख निधान दुख हरण गोसाई बारहि बार प्रणाम करहूं अब हरहूं शोक समुदाय घर के स्वजन हमारे जेते सबन उपाधि बढ़ाई साधु संग अरु भजन करते माही देत कलेस माही.
He says Swasti. Swasti means pranams, O Tulsidas ji. Dukkha harana gosai. Your words are such which take away all sorrow. Barahi bara pranama karahu, abahu harahu soka samudai. I am bowing down to you again and again. Please remove this sorrow from my heart. What is this sorrow? Ghar ke swajana hamare jete sabana upadhi badai. The family members, their attention is on all external titles. And my burden is increasing day by day. Sadhu saga aru bhajana karata mahi deta kalesa mahai. They don't have the same goals as me, and they are not allowing me to do satsang. Sadhu sangha means satsang, and even my bhajan, There is lot of conflict in doing all these things. And she says, you know my story. Balapanate mira kinhi, Balapanate mira kinhi, Giridhara lala mitai. Right from childhood, I have accepted Bhagwan Krishna as my own, Giridhara lala as mine. So to ab chhoote nahi kyun hu, lagi lagan bariyai. And that intense love for Bhagwan, I am unable to let go of, in spite of trying my best. मेरे माता पिता के समहो हरि भक्तन सुखदाई. Mirabai says, Bhagwan is my everything, and Goswami Tulsidas ji, you are very respectable in my eyes. हमको कहाँ उचित करीबो सो लखिए समुझाई. What is good for me, please help me understand. So this is another way to take a decision. Either we tune with God and with that tuned mind decide what is good for us, or ask somebody who is already tuned with God and has our well-being in their heart. So as response to this letter, Goswami Tulsidas ji writes his own letter. And those set of letters are called as Vinaya Patrika. Patrika means letter. Vinaya Patrika means letters written with humility. So it's as though there is a court and Bhagwan Rama is the judge. He is putting a petition. Other letters, that is his bhavana, that I have all these problems. My mind is distracted. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, everything is there. Please do something for me. So he writes a letter to Mirabai. He says, Jaake Priyana Rama Baidehi, the one for whom Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji are not dear. Tajiye tahi koti bairi sama jadyapi paramasanehi. This we have to understand carefully. Don't take the literal meaning. He says, if one is truly devoted to God, whatever obstacle comes in between, that obstacle one can let go of. The important point here is not letting go of obstacle. What is the important point? Wanting God sincerely. So he gives examples. Tajo Pita Prahlada Bibhishane. Prahlad ji gave up his father. Vibhishana gave up Bandhu, his brother. Ravana was not worshipping Bhagwan Rama, didn't have any love for Rama. So Vibhishana gave up Ravana. Bharata Mahatari, Bharat ji gave up mother. Bali Guru Tajo, Bali Maharaj gave up his guru, Shukracharya. Kanta Braja Banitahi. Braja Banitahi means gopis. They gave up all other sambandhas. Bhaya Muda Mangalakari. And that gave them lot of joy. Then he says, Tulasi so sababhati paramahita puja pranate pyaro. The most worshipful one is Bhagwan. Our first sambandha is with Bhagwan. Before we take on the titles of I am a husband, I am a wife, any other title, Goswamiji says, first title we should own up is, I belong to the Lord. Main sambandha is with Bhagwan, all other sambandhas are through Bhagwan. It is something like this, when a newly married girl goes to her husband's home. Overnight, she gets introduced to 50 new relations. Everybody comes introducing, मैं आपका ये लगता हूँ, मैं आपकी वो लगती हूँ. Different relations. Now, how are all those relations connected to her? Only through her husband. The day before, she was not related to any of these people. But the day she connects or she gets married to her husband, all 50 people get connected with her. Similarly, different sambandhas that we have are that of daughter, wife, husband, son, you name it. But those sambandhas, those relations are given to us by Bhagavan. Before we take on those sambandhas, first sambandha is Bhagavan, I belong to you. So as a bhakta, I am a wife. As a bhakta, I am a husband. That statement is okay. That is the beauty of this portion. Now, while preparing for all this, Bharatji also gives another very beautiful point on who is a true sevaka. We might have our own idea, right? Who is a good sevaka? Somebody might say, one who does lot of work is a sevaka. Another perspective could be, one who does work very efficiently is a sevaka. What is Bharatji's opinion? He says, Karahi Swami Hita Sevaku Soyi, Dushana Koti Dei Kina Koi. Means sevaka is somebody who follows instructions. Later on also he says, Agya Samana Susahiba Seva. There is no greater seva, there is no greater sevaka vritti than following instructions of our master. So to follow instructions of the master, what should sevaka have first? He should not have his own agenda. If he has his own points, then he will not be able to follow instructions. So he goes with a blank slate. Whatever is wanted from me, I will do. If he has to offer seva, what is needed before that is he should be available. So he should be available, willing to do what his master wants, and do it without ego, without his own pride. All these things put together, Goswamiji says, or Bharatji here says, makes up a good sevaka. One Mahatma Ji, he would tell one story, Olden days, gurus would go from one place to another and their disciples would walk with them. If a guru is lucky, disciple would take care of the guru. And if guru's prarabdha has some sorrow, some dukkham, then guru has to take care of disciple. So there was one disciple like that. It was evening time. So Guru said, oh, it's evening time, turn off the lamp, let us go to sleep. The disciple said, oh Guru, why do you need to turn off the lamp? Just pull the blanket. It will be dark and you can sleep. Guru said, oh my God, what a student is this? Then he said, okay, at least go and check if it is raining outside, because we'll have to prepare for tomorrow's journey. If it is raining, we'll have to do something. He said, why should I go outside to check? The cat is coming inside. Just stoke the cat. You will know whether it is raining outside. Guru said, nothing can be done of this disciple. He said, okay, at least close the door, bolt it so we can sleep happily. Disciple said, two things I did, at least one thing you do. Two of your questions I answered, third question at least you answer. He says, Sevaka is somebody who is available. Not only available, but he has no agenda of his own. And whatever is given to him, he can do minus pride. You know what is a blessing of this mindset? We will not get entangled in karma. Many of you have studied Upadesha Sara. What does Ramana Maharshi says? Krutimaho dadau patana karanam. Krutimaho dadau. Action is such, once you enter, it is like a vast ocean. So vast that person might drown in that ocean of karma. But when we take up actions with kartavya buddhi means I am not doing it because of my likes and dislikes. My guru wants me to do this. They have given me this task. Take it up in such a way that we can gracefully complete it, offer the result at Guru's feet, and do whatever the Guru wants next. We just took an example of Guru, but we can take any other example also. Somebody should be there who has given us something which has to be done. After doing it, we are free. If our own vasanas push us to take up something, then it keeps growing more and more. We don't know when to grow out of it. So Bharatji gives this advice. Now when they start their journey, they have all the material ready. Because Rajyabhisheka waters were brought from all holy rivers. Those kalashas are still there. So Bharatji says, let us take all of it. If we are going to meet Bhagwan Rama, I want to coronate him as the king. I mean, he will not coronate. Vasishtha Maharshi will coronate him right then and there. Now if somebody is the king, the armed forces should know who is their master. That is why for all swearing in ceremony, you will have representatives from those forces. So here also Bharatji says, if Bhagwan Rama is going to become the king, so the army should know who is our master. So let us take the Chaturangini Sena. Means some people are on horses, some are on elephants, some are on foot, some are in palanquin. All of that Sena he takes along with him. So they start their journey. Bharatji ensures that all of them are well taken care of. Means there is appropriate transportation for everybody. And in what sequence they should get in. Vasishtha Maharshi's chariot is first. Then is Kausalyaji, all the queens. And in spite of whatever thoughts he had towards Kaikeyi, he still takes Kaikeyi along with him. She is also given a palanquin, same treatment as all other mothers. And having ensured everybody has their own ride, Bharatji starts walking. And the moment he starts walking, everybody gets down. Those who are on horses get down, chariot get down. Then Kausalyaji brings her palanquin near Bharatji and she says, now everybody is in sorrow and they are very tired. If you insist to walk, they will also walk. And anyway their sorrow is unbearable, it will only increase their sorrow. When Kausalyaji says this, Bharatji doesn't argue with her. Quietly gets on his chariot. This is one very good quality of a sadhaka. It is true that we should not live a life without any disciplines. But it is equally true we should not take up disciplines in such a way that it causes inconvenience to others. Any kind of discipline it might be. Sometimes it is food related. And so many special varieties in food, vegan, plant-based, raw vegan, so many varieties are there. Now, if somebody wants to take it up, well and good. But if that person's choice is causing inconvenience to everybody, then we have to rethink, are we doing sadhana correctly? Because result of sadhana is there should be harmony. Result of tapasya is it should bring more joy. But if my tapasya is bringing inconvenience to others, Bharatji says it is better that I just sit in the chariot. So all of them sit, and now they are starting their journey. Goswamiji writes, they didn't travel only on these chariots, palanquins, walking and so on, but they also took on some disciplines. So most of them were eating one meal per day. Many of them lived only on fruits. Some of them only on milk. That is how they are moving towards Bhagwan Rama from Ayodhya to Chitrakoot. Now on their way, they meet one very special devotee, and his name is Nishadraj. Nishadraj recently had met Bhagwan Rama, and he had received teaching from Lakshmanji, what is popularly known as Lakshmana Gita. And he was a very great devotee. Bhagwan embraced him, gave him so much love. First thing Bhagwan does after leaving Ayodhya is meet Nishadraj, because Shringaberpur falls right on the outskirts of Ayodhya. And Nishadraj is a tribal person. Bhagwan tells him, come sit here. Gives him his own asan, gives him lot of love. And he also takes care of Bhagwan in a very sweet way. Now that Nishadraj, he sees Bharatji along with his army. And first thought that comes to his mind is, he is going to attack Bhagwan Rama so that he can finish all uncertainties in his kingship. Even after 14 years, what if Bhagwan comes back and demands his kingdom back? None of those things. That is what is going on in his mind. He feels Bharatji has come to attack Bhagwan Rama. Now this is half-baked information, which causes more problem. He only saw the Sena. He did not see Kausalyaji. If Bharatji is going to attack Bhagwan Rama, will he go along with Kausalyaji? Along with all his mothers? And another thing is, one might be a great devotee. But if we think we are the greatest devotee, that becomes an obstacle. So Bhagwan wants to remove this thought in Nishadraj's mind. He says, I will introduce to a devotee whom you will also be thrilled meeting. So Nishadraj has all these thoughts in his mind, and he gives a nice pep talk to his army. Imagine tribal people, how are they going to fight? With stones, with swords and everything. They don't have all this arms and ammunitions. And Bharatji's army is Ayodhya's army, coming with all Chaturangini Sena. Different kinds of arms and ammunition people are coming. And Nishadraj tells his tribal folks, remember, until we live, we are not going to allow this Sena to cross Gangaji. Either we give up our body, or we stop them from going further from here. And he quotes Bhagavad Gita also, Hato va prapsasi swargam, jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you get slayed, you will get Swarga. If you get the victory, you will enjoy the kingdom here. All those things he says. And while this is happening, one person sneezes. And there is one Shastra called as Saguna Shastra. Saguna Shastra means how to interpret omens. Now, if you sneeze on the left, it means something. If you sneeze on the right, it means something else. So one person who knew this interpretation, he says, oh, this kind of sneeze, what it means is, Bharatji doesn't have ill intentions. He is not going for fighting a battle. First go and find out what is in his mind. So now how to find out? Our Nishad Raj, he finds a very good technique. He brings 3 baskets. In one basket he puts fruits. Second basket he puts fish. Third basket he puts meat. And he says, depending upon what Bharatji chooses first, I will get to know what is his predominant guna. If he chooses fruits, Sattva guna. Second basket of fish, Rajo guna. And third basket of meat, Tamo guna. He says, with this I will understand what is Bharatji's intention. But he didn't know the greatness of Bharatji. He takes all of these things, keeps it in front, but the moment he sees Bharatji, and Bharatji comes to know that this is Nishad Raj who got embrace of the Lord, Bharatji comes down from his chariot and embraces Nishad Raj. Vasishtha Maharshi, who was such a great Brahma Rishi, he comes and blesses Nishad Raj, gives lot of love, lot of blessings. And while all this is happening, Devatas are showering flowers from the top. They say, look at this. Ordinary person like Nishad Raj is getting the blessings of Vasishtha Maharshi, getting blessings of Bharatji, love of Bharatji. And Nishad Raj says, Ram Keena Apana Jabahite Bhayav Bhuvana Bhushana Tabahite. From the day Bhagwan has started loving me, I have become loved by all. Means from the day Bhagwan has accepted me as my own, he says, from that day I don't know what, everybody has been showering love upon me. And this is not the greatness, this is not my greatness, this is the greatness of devotion for Bhagwan. You know, this Phalashruti is also mentioned in Kenopanishad. Towards the end of Kenopanishad, there is one Upasana where Bhagwan is worshipped by the name Tadvanam. What is the name? Tadvanam. If you are looking for a name for your home, this is a very nice name. Tadvanam. Tadvanam means the most worshipful Lord. What that Upanishad mantra says is, the one who meditates upon the most worshipful Lord, the one who meditates upon the Lord as most worshipful, becomes the most worshipful. This is Upasana Siddhanta. Whatever we meditate upon, we become that. Bhagwan is of the nature of love. The one who meditates upon the Lord becomes lovable. In traditional Vedanta, they have another example that they give. There was one person who wanted to meditate upon the Lord. but he was just unable to. So he goes to his Guru and he says, I want to meditate upon Bhagwan, but I am unable to. Guru says, something you must be liking, right? What are you most fond of? He says, I have a buffalo, which is very dear to me. I am very fond of this buffalo. Then the Guru says, okay, what can you do? Meditate upon that buffalo as God. Instead of saying Da Soham or any other thing, you can say Bhai Soham. That buffalo I am. Now he goes and sits in his room and starts meditating in this way. But he was a very diligent student. If Guru has said it, he will do it. And after a few days, no sign of getting up, no sign of too much of movement, just in one place meditating. After a few days, Guru goes to see him. And Guru says, okay, come out now. I want to tell you a few more things. The student says, I am unable to come. This door is too small for me. What has happened in his mind? He has become that. They say this is the power of upasana. Whatever we think, mind eventually becomes that. See, for children we teach Gayatri mantra or any other mantra, whatever we chant. Few benefits of that mantra is, one is memory will increase. Gayatri mantra in particular, they can remember a lot. Second benefit is they can remember quickly. See, in olden days, whenever the Shishya would go to Gurukula, teaching would not start on day one. First few months or even a year would just go in preparing the instrument which has to receive the knowledge. How will they prepare it? Gayatri mantra, Vedic chanting. In particular, Meda Suktam, all the other Suktams. But just this, mantra japa. We can remember a lot, we can remember quickly. Third one is this benefit. What we just saw. Person who worships Bhagwan, who is of the nature of love, becomes lovable. So for a child, how can we translate it? If you do japa, do Gayatri, we will have good friends. Not only good friends, but also right friends. That is the same Upasana Siddhanta. Whomever we worship, whichever form of the Lord we worship, that devotee becomes lovable. This is what Nishad Raj says. All of you are showering so much love and blessings upon me. It is nothing but the love of Lord Rama. Now here, Devatas, they sing the greatness of name of the Lord. They say even while yawning, if you take Bhagwan's name, Rama Rama kahi jai jamuhahi, tinahina papa punja samuhahi. The samuha means group, bundle of sins, they vanish. How do they vanish? Even while yawning, if you take Bhagwan's name. What to talk about that person whom Bhagwan himself has embraced? That is Nishad Raj. What is there which is not possible for him? Let us conclude by singing these chaupais, but the format is slightly different. So the way is, the refrain Rama Namami 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 will keep coming. So whichever tune I sing, in that same tune you have to sing Rama Namami Namami Namami. Okay? Let us try first. Ram namami namami namami, 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 Ram namami namami namami. Simple tune. This is Doha number 194. I forgot to mention the number. So I will sing the Chaupai and you have to sing Rama Namami Namami Namami, same tune. So if I sing भेटत भरतु ताहि अति प्रीति, राम नमामि नमामि नमामि, लोग सिंहाहि प्रेम के रीति, राम नमामि नमामि नमामि, धन्य धन्य धुनि मंगल मूला, सुरसराई देहि बरसहि फूला, लोक वेद सब भांति विनीचा, जासु छान छुई सींचा, तेहि भरि अंतराम लघु भ्राता, मिलत पुलक परिपूरित दाता, राम राम कहि जे जनु माहि, हिन पाप पुण्य समुहाहि, यह तो राम लाई उरलीना, कुल समेत जग पावन कीन्हा, कर्मनाश यदु सुरसरि परहि, तेहि को कहु शीस नहीं धरहि, उलटा नाम जपत जगु जाना, वाल्मीकि हरि ब्रह्म समाना, राम नमामि नमामि नमामि, राम नमामि नमामि नमामि, राम नमामि नमामि नमामि। श्यामल रामचंद्र की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। All devatas say there is nothing more sacred than Bhagwan's name, so much so that even if we chant it ulta, instead of saying Rama, if you say Mara, still Valmiki Rishi became like Brahma. Valmiki bhai Brahma samana. If this is the power of name, what to talk about that person who has done Nama Japa and received grace of the Lord? That is Nishad Raj. Nothing is impossible for him. So let us allow him to be with Bharatji for some time. Let them just bask in each other's company. Tomorrow we will see the prasanga where Bharatji is going to Prayagraj. He does a very beautiful prayer there, meets Bharadwaj Rishi, then finally meets Bhagwan Rama in Chitrakoot. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.